I woke up with the kind of stillness that makes you think the world has stopped. No cars outside, no hum of the fridge, just a heavy, unnatural silence pressing against my ears. Then I saw it, the faint glow of the streetlights spilling across my living room floor. My front door was wide open. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment on the second floor. I always lock the door. Always. I remember doing it before bed, checking the deadbolt twice because I'd been reading too many crime stories online. And yet there it was, open, yawning into the hallway like a mouth. At first I thought maybe I'd forgotten to latch it, that it had swung open on its own. But the air inside felt wrong. It was cold, and not the normal winter chill that leaks in through old windows. It was sharper. It's like walking into a room where someone's just opened a freezer. I stayed in bed for a few seconds, straining my ears for any sound in the apartment. My pulse was so loud it made everything else harder to hear. I told myself it was fine, that I'd get up, close it, and check the lock. But I didn't move. Not until I heard it. A single, slow step on the wooden floor of my living room. I froze. The sound was soft, almost cautious, like someone trying not to be heard. My first thought was to grab my phone and call 911, but my phone was in the kitchen, past the living room. Whoever was out there was between me and it. I told myself to get up, to run out the door and straight to my neighbors, but the front door was facing the living room. If I left my bedroom, I'd have to pass whoever was there. I sat there in the dark, my eyes fixed on the faint rectangle of light from the open door. Then, after what felt like minutes of suffocating silence, I heard the step again, closer this time. My bedroom door was cracked open, just a sliver. I thought about shutting it, but that would mean making noise. So I stayed perfectly still, barely breathing, and prayed they'd just leave. And then the floor creaked right outside my bedroom door. The crack was narrow, but I could see movement, a shadow shifting against the dim glow from the hallway. It wasn't the kind of movement that happens when light flickers. It was slow, deliberate. Someone was standing just outside, leaning close, as if listening for me. My body was screaming to run, but I couldn't move. I didn't even blink. The shadow stayed there for what felt like forever, then suddenly it disappeared. I heard the sound of bare feet moving toward the door. And then nothing. Not a slam, not a click, just silence again. I waited. I don't know how long, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 30. My legs were shaking when I finally forced myself to move. I crept toward the front door, staying low, listening for any sound outside. The hallway was empty. I shut the door slowly, locked it, slid the chain across, then leaned against it, trying to catch my breath. That's when I noticed something that made my skin crawl. The lock wasn't broken. The deadbolt wasn't damaged. It had been turned from the inside. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. I sat in my room with the lights on, gripping the heaviest thing I could find, a metal lamp waiting for the sun to rise. The next morning, I checked every inch of the apartment. Closet doors, under the bed, inside the cabinets. Nothing. No signs of a break-in. It was almost like it hadn't happened. But then I looked at the carpet by the front door. There were footprints. They came from the door, moved into the living room, and stopped halfway down the hallway. There were none leading back. That was 2 weeks ago. I've been staying at a friend's place since, but sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, I swear I can still feel that cold air and hear the sound of slow, careful steps moving across my floor. Ask ChatGPT.